everybody, welcome back. I have Boo with me today because today's stories are going to be about dogs. And the first one is about a dog named Harry, not a dog named Boo. Hi, Boo. This dog named Harry is wearing a sweater that he really doesn't like very much. Let's see what happens. Harry was a white dog with black spots. On his birthday, he got a present from Grandma. It was a wool sweater with roses on it. Harry didn't like it the moment he saw it. He did not like those roses. Uh-oh. When he tried it on, he felt cozy and snug, but he still didn't like the roses. He thought it was the silliest sweater he had ever seen. The next day, when Harry went into town with the children, he wore his new sweater. When people saw it, they laughed. The dogs barked. Harry made up his mind right then and there. He was going to lose that sweater. He didn't want to wear it anymore. Wonder how a dog is going to lose a sweater. When they went into a big store to shop, the children took off his sweater and they let him carry it. This was just what Harry wanted. First, he tried to lose it in the pet department. Do you see where he put it? He put it on the table. Let's see if that worked. But a man found it and said, wait, you forgot your dog's sweater. And he gave it back. Then he tried to lose it in the grocery department. Let's see where he left it. Oh, you see he has it on the bottom shelf. You think he'll lose it? Let's see, maybe he will. But a lady found it and said, wait, your dog forgot his sweater. He tried to lose it in the flower department. He thought that would really work since there were roses on it. He left it right there by the tree. Maybe it'll work. You think it'll work? Let's see. But a little boy found it and gave it back. He said, wait, your dog left his sweater. The children didn't let Harry carry it anymore. They made him wear it. As they started for home, Harry was beginning to think he would never lose that sweater. He thought he was stuck with it. When he got home, his friends were waiting to play with him, but Harry didn't feel like playing, so they left him alone. He was kind of grouchy with that sweater on. As he sat wondering what to do, Harry noticed a loose stitch in his sweater, so he pulled at the wool just a little at first, then some more, and then some more, and before he knew it, there was a bird watching him. You see the bird up on the wire? I think the bird is trying to make a nest and saw that sweater string as a good part of his nest. In a minute, Harry had pulled out quite a long piece of wool. The end of it lay on the grass behind him. Suddenly, the bird flew down. Quick as a flash, she took the end of the wool in her beak and she flew away with it. It all happened before Harry could even blink. His sweater started to unravel as the bird flew away. By unraveling, that means it just kept coming apart and coming apart and coming apart. The sweater began to disappear right before Harry's eyes. First one leg, then the neck, then the other leg, then the back, and finally, the whole sweater was just one long piece of wool flying into the sky. The sweater was gone. Harry couldn't believe it. He barked with joy and jumped with joy and ran all around the yard. His problem was solved. He ran down the street barking thank you to the bird over and over. Roof, 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 roof. The bird and the wool were just a tiny speck in the sky. Harry kept following them. You see them up in the sky? It's so hard to see. A teeny little line. That was the speck of wool going through the sky with the bird. Oops, I almost skipped a page. When Harry came home, he was thirsty and tired, and he was having a drink in the kitchen when the children came in. We got a letter from Grandma, they said. She's coming to visit. Harry remembered the sweater. Before Grandma came, the family looked everywhere for the sweater. They wanted her to see how nice Harry looked in it. But of course they couldn't find it. Only Harry knew what happened. Uh-oh, what will Harry do? When Grandma arrived, Harry ran to her with his leash. Then he sat up and he begged. All right, Harry, said Grandma. After I've had my lunch and a nap, we'll go for a walk. That afternoon, Harry and Grandma and the children started off for a walk. Harry barked happily and pulled toward the park. I wonder where he was taking Grandma, don't you? When they got to the park, Harry pulled harder. The children let him off the leash and he ran on ahead, and he seemed to be looking for something. All at once, he stopped under a great big tree and he looked up and he began to bark and wag his tail, and Grandma and the children came running. What do you think he's looking at? Then they got to the tree and they looked up and they saw a nest made of wool. They saw a nest made of wool with roses on it that looked just like Harry's sweater. It's Harry's sweater, they all said. Just then a bird looked down. Look, Grandma, look. Harry gave his sweater to a bird. I wonder how he did that, said Grandma. The bird sang and Harry wagged his tail. Harry didn't like the sweater with roses on it, but the bird loved the sweater with roses on it. It was a very soft nest for her babies. At Christmas, Harry got a present from Grandma. It was a new sweater. Harry liked this one very much from the first time he saw it. When he tried it on, it felt cozy and snug, just as that bird in the nest. But best of all, this sweater was black with white spots, just like Harry. And he lived happily ever after. I'm so glad for Harry, aren't you? I was a little worried when Grandma was coming and the sweater was missing, but it turned into a nest, and that was lovely. Now, I have a story that's a very, very big book, and it's about a dog we know that we had a story about once before. Do you remember who he is? Clifford, the big red dog. And it's kind of fitting that this is a very big book because Clifford is a very big dog. And this book is called Clifford's Family. Ooh, look. Right on the inside page, I see Clifford's giant footprints. Do you see them too? Really, really big feet on that really, really big dog. And look, there's pictures of Clifford's family. Oh, I think that must be his mama. He's holding it. She's much smaller than him, isn't she? This book is so hard, it's hard to turn the pages. Let's see if I can do it. Hi, I am Emily Elizabeth, and this is my dog. His name is Clifford. Oh my. We live in a small town now, but we were born in the city. One day, we went back to visit our old home in the city. Do you see Clifford going with the cars? Kind of hard to miss him, right? He's enormous. He's walking right along with the cars on the road with his very big legs and this very big book. Clifford hadn't seen his mother since he was a tiny puppy. She hardly knew him. They went back to see her. Do you see her right there? She's kind of a small brown dog. Maybe I'll put it down like this. There, can you guys see it better? She still treated him like a puppy. She checked his teeth, and she looked at his ears to see that they had been clean. Isn't that silly that his mother is so much smaller than he is? There's his little mother, and there's Big Clifford, and there's his people family. The man told us where Clifford's brothers and sisters lived, so we went to find them. Clifford's sister Claudia lived nearby. She was taking her owner for a walk. She was small too. That was his sister Claudia and his sister Claudia's owner. And there was Emily Elizabeth and great big Clifford. You see how Clifford is following Claudia and her owner. We went into the park with them. A taxi was blocking the crosswalk. Clifford took care of that. Let's see what Clifford is going to do. Oh my, he lifted up the taxi. He's pretty strong for a dog, isn't he? Next, we found his brother Nero. Nero was a rescue dog at the fire station. Whoa, what an exciting job that is. Clifford peeked in to see that dog, who's his brother Nero, helping all the firefighters. While we were at the fire station, the alarm went off and we followed the fire truck. Nero rushed into the building, very brave. Clifford's brother was very brave. Look at that, the building was on fire and Clifford's brother ran in to help save the people. Clifford helped him. Ooh, look at Clifford brought the firefighter way up to the top of the building because he was so tall. Nero was very brave. So was Clifford. Look at the firefighter said, "Thank you, Nero, you're such a brave dog." Then we set off to the country. Clifford's other sister, Bonnie, was a farm dog. Wow, he had 2 sisters and a brother. That's a pretty big family, isn't it? So they went off to see his other sister. She was on the farm. One of Bonnie's jobs was to herd the sheep into the pen. You see that? She's getting the sheep into the pen. That's an important job for a dog. Clifford wanted to do some farm work too. So he started to drive the cows toward the barn. Oh my, that cow looks a little bit angry. It looks like a bull to me. One of the cows, who was a bull, and the bull didn't like the color red. And that's what color Clifford was, right? Oh no, he looked a little bit angry. I wonder what Clifford will do. Clifford wasn't scared. He was pretty smart. He didn't want to hurt the bull, so he jumped out of the way. When Clifford jumps, he really jumps. Do you see where he jumped? He jumped from here all the way over the barn. We had one more place to visit. It was Clifford's father's house in a town nearby. I wonder where his father lives. It's so good that he's seeing his whole family, isn't it? The house was small, and there were a lot of children playing out in the yard. Do you see all those children? So many children. Clifford's father didn't have a collar or a dog dish or a dog bowl, but he seemed very, very happy living with all of those children. I guess it was the children. He sure loved the children. He was a lot like Clifford, only a little bit smaller. Clifford likes children too, doesn't he? There's Emily Elizabeth, his favorite child. And I'm going to turn this over so we can read this last page easier. Clifford wished his family could come and live with us, but they all had people who needed them and loved them, just like I need and love Clifford, the best dog of all. Clifford has a lovely family, and you have a lovely family too. So say hi to your family, and I'll see you all later. Bye for now.